A Ouija board opened the door. What came through refused to leave. The Smurl family fought darkness itself for 4 years. The modest duplex on Chase Street in West Pittston, Pennsylvania stands quiet now, but between 1974 and 1987, it becomes the site of one of America's most documented cases of demonic infestation. The Smurl family never imagines that their working-class home will transform into a battleground between the seen and unseen worlds, attracting national media attention and dividing their community between believers and skeptics. Jack and Janet Smurl purchased their side of the duplex with Jack's parents, John and Mary Smurl, occupying the adjoining unit. It is a practical arrangement for a close-knit Catholic family. Jack works as a mason, Janet cares for their 4 daughters, and the extended family shares meals, holidays, and the ordinary rhythms of suburban life. The neighborhood is unremarkable, the kind of place where children ride bicycles on sidewalks and neighbors wave from porches. Nothing about Chase Street suggests the horror that will unfold within its walls. The first incidents begin in 1974, subtle enough to dismiss. The television changes channels without anyone touching the remote. A rocking chair moves on its own, creaking back and forth in an empty room. The family hears scratching sounds inside the walls, assuming mice or structural settling. These are easy explanations, comfortable ones. But as months pass, the phenomena intensify in ways that defy rational interpretation. Stains appear on carpets and walls, dark marks that resist all attempts at cleaning. The stains reappear in the same locations overnight, as if the house itself bleeds through its surfaces. A deep chill settles over certain rooms, particularly the master bedroom, where temperatures drop so dramatically that breath becomes visible even in summer. Janet begins to smell sulfur, a stench so overpowering it makes her gag. The odor has no source, no origin point. It simply manifests, thick and choking. By 1985, the activity escalates from unsettling to terrifying. The entity, whatever it is, becomes physical. Janet is repeatedly shoved, grabbed, and struck by invisible hands. She feels something touching her inappropriately when no one is present, violations that leave her traumatized and ashamed. Jack witnesses scratches appearing on his wife's body, angry welts that form in seconds. Their daughters hear growling voices speaking in languages none of them understand. The family dog cowers in corners, whimpering at things no human eyes can perceive. The manifestations grow bolder. A dark, human-shaped shadow moves through the house, solid enough to block light, purposeful in its movements. It appears in hallways, in bedrooms, standing over the children as they sleep. Kitchen utensils fly across rooms. Toilets flush repeatedly in the middle of the night. The family hears footsteps on the stairs when everyone is accounted for, heavy treads that shake the banister. Jack experiences something that shakes him to his core. He is lying in bed when he feels an oppressive weight on his chest, pinning him down. A demonic face materializes above him, twisted and malevolent, with features that seem both human and utterly inhuman. The entity's presence radiates hatred, a focused malice directed specifically at the family's faith and unity. Jack tries to pray, but his voice will not come. The experience leaves him physically and spiritually depleted. Desperate for help, the Smurls reach out to their parish priest. He performs multiple blessings of the home, sprinkling holy water and reciting prayers of protection. The activity stops temporarily, offering brief respite, but within days it returns with renewed fury. The entity appears to be enraged by the religious intervention, retaliating with increased violence. The family contacts a second priest, then a third. Each blessing brings only temporary relief. In 1986, the Smurls make contact with Ed and Lorraine Warren, paranormal investigators known for their work on high-profile demonic cases. The Warrens travel to West Pittston and conduct an extensive investigation of the duplex. Lorraine, who claims clairvoyant abilities, immediately senses multiple entities within the home. She identifies at least 4 distinct presences, including a powerful demon that has established dominance over the location. Ed Warren explains that the house suffers from demonic infestation, a condition where malevolent entities inhabit and control a physical space. He distinguishes this from possession, which targets individuals. The infestation appears to have multiple causes. The Smurls recall that one of their daughters experimented with a Ouija board years earlier, an act the Warrens identify as a possible entry point for dark forces. Additionally, the land itself may harbor negative energy, perhaps from past trauma or death. The Warrens arrange for a formal exorcism of the property. Father Robert McKenna, a traditionalist Catholic priest, agrees to perform the rite. In August 1986, he conducts the exorcism within the duplex, reciting prayers in Latin and commanding the demonic entities to depart. The ritual is grueling, lasting hours. The family reports violent reactions during the ceremony, objects moving, terrible sounds emanating from the walls, the smell of sulfur intensifying to unbearable levels. For a brief period, peace returns. The family dares to hope their nightmare has ended, but within weeks, the phenomena resume. The entity has not been expelled, only temporarily suppressed. It becomes clear that whatever occupies the Chase Street duplex possesses a stubborn, entrenched presence that will not be easily dislodged. The case attracts media attention in 1986 when the Smurls decide to go public with their story. They appear on television programs and speak to journalists, hoping that exposure will bring additional help or validation. The response is mixed. Many supporters rally to their cause, fellow Catholics and paranormal enthusiasts who believe their account. But skeptics emerge with equal force, accusing the family of fabricating the story for attention or financial gain. Neighbors complain about the media circus descending on their quiet street. Some accuse the Smurls of diminishing property values or exploiting superstition. The scrutiny takes a psychological toll. The family faces ridicule and suspicion even as they continue to experience terrifying phenomena in private. Their daughters struggle in school, labeled as the kids from the haunted house. Janet's health deteriorates under the constant stress. Jack feels powerless to protect his family from an enemy he cannot fight with physical strength or conventional means. Paul Kurtz, a prominent skeptic and founder of the Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal, publicly questions the Smurl case. He points to the lack of verifiable physical evidence and suggests alternative explanations, environmental factors, psychological stress, or deliberate hoax. The debate becomes bitter, with believers and skeptics entrenching in their positions. Despite the controversy, the Warrens continue to support the Smurls. They document ongoing activity, collect testimony from witnesses who experience phenomena while visiting the home, and maintain that the demonic infestation is genuine. A second exorcism is attempted, then a third. Each provides only temporary relief. By 1987, the Smurl family makes the painful decision to leave the Chase Street duplex. 13 years of escalating terror have drained them emotionally, financially, and spiritually. They relocate to a different area, seeking distance from the place that has caused them so much suffering. Reports suggest that activity in the duplex diminishes after their departure, though whether this indicates the entity was specifically targeting the family or simply lost interest without them present remains unclear. The Smurl haunting becomes the subject of books and a 1991 television movie, ensuring its place in paranormal history. The case represents one of the most prolonged and well-documented claims of demonic activity in American history, with multiple witnesses, numerous investigators, and extensive media coverage. Skeptics continue to dismiss it as fraud or misinterpretation, while believers point to the consistency of reports and the family's steadfast testimony. What happened on Chase Street raises questions that transcend the specifics of one family's experience. Can physical locations become infected with malevolent intelligence? Do certain actions, like using Ouija boards, genuinely open doorways to dark forces, or are such beliefs self-fulfilling prophecies that give power to psychological fears? Why do some reported hauntings resist religious intervention, even repeated exorcisms performed with faith and proper authority. The Smurl family's ordeal reminds us that the line between the natural and supernatural remains contested territory. Their story endures not because it provides definitive answers, but because it forces us to confront the possibility that reality contains layers we neither understand nor control, and that sometimes the places we call home may harbor presences with their own hostile agendas. This story was created with AI assistance based on documented case files. All events reference real investigations and reported incidents.